never quit. It's a rallying cry echoing through locker rooms, board meetings, and social media feeds. We see the phrase etched onto inspirational posters, plastered on mugs, stitched into the fabric of our culture. The message is clear. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. But what if this mantra, as epic as it sounds, is missing a deeper truth? What if sometimes stopping is the smartest move you can make, one that makes you richer, healthier, and yes, even wiser? Picture this. A stopwatch starts ticking, the seconds racing forward. A line chart spikes up, then dips, then plateaus. Suddenly, a bold red stop sign flashes before you. This isn't just a dramatic opening. It's a signal to reconsider the wisdom of relentless persistence. Because as the data reveals, the reality behind never quit is a lot more nuanced than we've been led to believe. Let's begin by steel-manning the case for persistence. The virtues of grit are supported by robust evidence. In a meta-analysis covering 807 individuals, researchers found that grit, the power to persevere in pursuit of long-term goals, is indeed linked to higher achievement. It's grit that fuels marathon runners through miles of pain, entrepreneurs through years of uncertainty, and students through late nights of study. Persistence can transform adversity into triumph. But here's where it gets complicated. Survivorship bias. When we celebrate the few who succeed by never quitting, we often overlook the countless others who persist just as hard, only to burn out, lose everything, or stall indefinitely. The survivors become our heroes, but their stories are only half the picture. For every tale of grit rewarded, there are many of grit unrewarded, lost to the margins of history. Now, let's flip the script and dig into the evidence that challenges the never quit doctrine. 6 data points, each one a crack in the armor of relentless persistence. First, consider the pharmaceutical industry, where persistence meets reality head-on. Between 2011 and 2020, the probability of success for a new drug known as POS was just 7.9%. That's right. Out of every 100 ambitious projects, over 90 failed to reach the finish line. For scientists and investors, knowing when to stop can mean the difference between pouring millions into a dead end and pivoting to a breakthrough. Second, let's look at the world of business. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 50% of businesses survive for 5 years, and only 1/3 make it to a decade. The hard truth? Many enterprises are better served by re-evaluating strategies, or even shutting down, rather than clinging to hope and compounding losses. Data from recent years drives this home. A chart overlay shows a steady decline, reminding us that survival often requires adaptation, not stubbornness. Third, the job market offers its own lesson. In 2022, the Atlanta Federal Reserve found that workers who switched jobs earned a 2 to 3 percentage point wage premium compared to those who stayed put. If never quit meant never leaving, these wage gains would be lost. Sometimes quitting your job isn't failure. It's a strategic move toward better pay and opportunity. Fourth, we confront the psychological trap known as escalation of commitment. Meta-analyses in behavioral science reveal that people often keep investing in failing endeavors because of what they've already sunk in: time, money, reputation. This pattern, called the sunk cost fallacy, leads to suboptimal outcomes. The more we persist, the harder it becomes to let go, even when the evidence says we should. Fifth, the impact on mental health and biology is profound. Disengagement from unproductive pursuits doesn't just free up your calendar. It can lower rates of depression and reduce levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation. The American Psychological Association highlights that quitting toxic goals can actually make us healthier. A simple chart shows the drop in depression scores and CRP levels among those who chose to pivot. Sixth, a groundbreaking study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in 2019 analyzed 1.61 million orders. The takeaway? Exploring new strategies consistently outperformed stubborn adherence to failing ones. Adaptability, not rigidity, drives success. Let's stress test the boundaries of persistence versus quitting. Imagine 3 scenarios. First, a SaaS founder. She's poured years into her startup, fighting through endless setbacks. Revenue is flat, churn is high, and every month feels like a gamble. Should she double down or pivot? The data says, measure leading indicators. If the market isn't responding, sometimes pulling the plug is the bravest choice. Second, a clinical scientist. He spent a decade pursuing a single therapy, but trials repeatedly fail. Should he keep going or switch focus? With the probability of success at just 7.9%, the answer lies in honest assessment. A stop-loss rule, informed by evidence, can save years of frustration and open doors to new discoveries. Third, a mid-career worker. She's loyal, hardworking, but her role has stagnated. New opportunities beckon, but the fear of quitting holds her back. The Atlanta Fed's wage premium, 2 to 3 percentage points, shows that switching jobs can be a catalyst for growth. Sometimes quitting is a leap forward, not a step back. So how do you decide when to persist and when to pivot? Here's your checklist. Clear, actionable, if-then rules. If leading indicators show declining returns over time, then consider a stop-loss strategy. If opportunity cost is rising, meaning other paths offer better rewards, then it's time to reevaluate. If escalation of commitment is driving your decisions, then step back and de-escalate. If your physical or mental health is suffering, then disengagement may be the healthiest path. If evidence points to stagnation, then explore alternatives with curiosity, not fear. Persistence is powerful, but only when paired with adaptability. The most successful people and organizations aren't those who never quit. They're the ones who know when to quit and when to move on. As we wrap up, ask yourself, where in your life have you clung to never quit at the expense of growth, health, or happiness? When has letting go opened new doors? The stopwatch ticks, the chart fluctuates, the stop sign flashes. These aren't just symbols. They're reminders that strategic quitting is not defeat, but wisdom. Now, we want to hear from you. What life advice should we dissect next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this analysis, like this video and subscribe to Beyond the Quote, because sometimes the best way forward is knowing when to stop and when to start again.